Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 204, Okja. My name is Joe.
And my name is Eric.
Okja!
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 Oh.
How you
we
doing?
Offending people now?
I'm sorry.
I said, are we offending people now?
Are we?
I don't know.
Is that offensive?
To Polish people?
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry to all the Polish listeners that we have.
Yeah, you know, it's their fault for polka.
We just watched a movie called The Polka King.
Okay, yeah, Jack Black.
Over the weekend with Jack Black, yeah. It was really entertaining.
I've been interested, I just have never done it yet.
Yeah, I was skeptical because Jack Black can be a lot sometimes.
Sure.
But yeah, it was really entertaining.
Huh, maybe I'll give it a shot then.
You should.
Yeah. I just watched Pop Star, Never Stop Stopping.
I want to watch that.
It was a delight.
Excellent.
I used to be very anti-Andy Samberg in general.
Yeah.
But he has... Brooklyn Nine-Nine really turned me around on him.
Yeah, same for me.
And like last week I watched the Bash Brothers Ultimate Experience on Netflix.
I haven't seen that either.
Oh man, so good. And you know me and my opinion of musicals, and there's a lot of music in both of those.
Okay.
But they
That's
were...
true, 'cause the Lonely Island is sort of a comedy band, right? Is that their thing?
Yeah, like a comedy rap group. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it was hilarious. Both of them.
Nice.
Recommend them both.
Excellent. Have you seen, was their first movie Hot Rod?
Oh, I have seen Hot Rod.
Is that good too?
I love Hot Rod.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
I will have to either watch those on my own or convince Jenny to watch those with me.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
I mean, I would recommend them to her as well. She seems to have a sense of humor at times.
Generally, yeah. All right, well, I'll let her know. I'll let her know it comes with the Eric's stamp of approval.
All right. They're sweet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okja.
Okja.
So you picked this
Yes, it did.
because it's by the director of Parasite and a few other things.
Yes. Still have not seen Parasite.
Okay.
Still on my must-see list.
Excellent.
But I have seen The Host, which I think was his sort of major breakthrough movie.
Yeah.
And Mother and Snowpiercer. And I enjoyed all three of those immensely.
Yeah, of those I have only seen Snowpiercer, and I've seen Parasite.
No.
So yeah, I guess Snowpiercer would have been the first of his movies that I saw, and I did really like that a lot.
Yeah. I would say of all of them, Okja has the most in common with The Host.
Okay.
In that, you know, I mean, there's a CGI creature for sure.
Right, yeah, I was going to say The Host is a monster movie, right?
Yes, it is. But, you know, also the underlining tone that America and corporations are evil.
That is definitely the main theme of Okja.
Yep.
This movie was upsetting to me in a lot of ways.
I can imagine. It's yeah, no, I think I agree.
Yeah, I mean, basically, so I had seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember much about it. I remembered sort of the very end the factory sequence.
Okay.
I remember that was burned into my mind because that is the most upsetting thing
Sure.
in the movie. Yeah,
For
but you know,
me, it
just,
was the second most upsetting thing.
yeah. What was the most upsetting thing?
It was so much scat.
Oh, just the soundtrack.
No, like
Oh no, I'm sorry, not scatting.
no.
That's true. There's not really any scatting in the soundtrack, is there?
Not really. Yeah, it is
It's sort of
pretty
polka-y.
jazzy. It
It
is
is
kind of
jazzy.
polky. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. There is a lot of there's a lot of poop in this movie.
Yeah, there is. A little too much for me.
I mean, it's only really a major part of it. Like, there's 2 scenes.
True. Possibly 2 scenes too many.
Possibly. I don't know. I thought it was used effectively.
The second time, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you did have to set it up that first time.
Exactly. It's Chekhov's poop. At first, when we first see Okja pooping, I thought that she was pooping fish. Because she's like pooping into the water, and then I swear it looked like it was swimming away. So I actually wrote a note, does Okja poop fish? But I don't think that's what was happening.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
I'm just
believe so.
dumb.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like she was in the water, could have, swallowed a whole bunch. And
Could have
just,
been.
Catch and release,
Yeah. Well, I thought, because they say that the super pigs have a very small footprint.
Right.
I thought that maybe somehow they had genetically engineered the super pigs to poop fish, thus reducing their carbon footprint. So that's where I was while I was watching this movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
I have thoughts while I'm watching these movies.
That's good.
like how I thought Alison Brie in Horse Girl was gonna find out she was part horse. Yeah, I have good ideas. If I wrote movies, this is what I would do.
I would watch all those movies.
Don't let me write movies.
I want you to write so many movies.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Okja. It was fine. That's sort of how I remembered it from the first time that I watched it.
Okay.
And I thought it was still pretty fine this time.
All right.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't dislike it for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
There were parts that definitely made me laugh.
Sure.
Mostly involving Jake Gyllenhaal's character.
Boy,
He is marvelous.
He is making some choices.
I just the Jake Gyllenhaal transformation into actor who plays ridiculous characters is just delights me to no end. Like between this and Mr. Music and John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch.
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's so good.
All right.
I don't know that you'll like it because it's a lot of songs.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, he's spectacular in that. If you watch nothing else from that movie, you should watch the Mr. Music sequence.
Okay.
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Probably. I do like Jake Gyllenhaal a lot, and even in this movie, he is something for sure.
Yeah. Just I love the on-camera voice that he does, which is basically sort of a heightened version of his voice.
Right.
And then just whatever voice he's doing when he's not on camera is so good.
Like I said, he's making some choices.
Yeah, he really is, and I am here for it.
What's weird is that the last movie I saw Jake Gyllenhaal in was also had Paul Dano in it.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Prisoners?
Oh yeah, we that was on HBO a couple days ago, and we started watching it and didn't have time to actually get into it, so we were gonna come back to it.
Yeah, it is. It's dark.
It looked super dark.
Yeah, yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal not making a lot of crazy choices in that one. He is playing it pretty straight because it would be weird if he was doing something super weird.
Yeah. if he plays the role that I think he plays in that, yeah, that would be real weird.
Yeah.
Be real out of place.
Yep. I will say this is maybe the first movie I've ever seen Paul Dano in where he isn't entirely creepy.
Yeah, I wrote that too, that Paul Dano is very off-putting, but he's also kind of nice in this movie.
Yeah, he is off-putting for sure.
Yeah.
But he has definitely been far more off-putting in other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sort of find his whole vibe a little weird.
Yeah. And like even in this movie where he does start out seemingly very sincere and nice and altruistic, but then there are some dark turns that he takes in there too.
Yeah, from his first appearance, I sort of expected him to, like, he had some sort of ulterior motive, and he didn't, which was almost a twist in itself. Like, nope, he's actually who he says he is.
He was good in this as well.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I liked him a lot in this.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone given a bad performance in this movie at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. Maybe Okja. The effect is not super great. Like it's very cartoony at points.
Yeah, I think my main problem with Okja, the creature, is that like I get that she's a genetically modified super pig. But there's also things that she does that, seem way more anthropomorphized than, like an actual animal would do.
Yeah, like at one point, I think Okja gives Mija, there you go. At one point, like Mija hugs Okja and Okja hugs her back.
Yeah.
Like, that stuck out to me.
That was definitely one of those. The other where Mija falls off the face of a cliff.
Yes.
And Okja is, like, trying to rescue her, which stretches, the suspension of disbelief a little bit there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could still mostly buy that. Except for when she wraps her back legs around something to support her.
Yeah. You didn't buy that?
That was a bit much, yeah.
Okay. Interesting that that's where you draw the line.
It's like the thing I mentioned on Twitter the other day about the new Strange Adventures comic.
Yeah.
I can totally buy the idea of a man flying around in a rocket pack and getting beamed to a different planet to fight alien races. But I am really drawing the line that he would wear a wristwatch underneath a skin-tight glove.
It's a really good point. Because it doesn't make any sense.
None at all, no.
That glove would not be smooth. No, maybe I didn't notice the leg wrapping because I was too stressed out by that scene.
It was a very stressful scene, for sure.
There is a lot of child danger in this movie.
Yes, there is.
That was stressful and upsetting.
I think that's the first scene of the movie for me where, like, I kind of perked up.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine up until that point for me.
Yeah.
like, the introduction of Tilda Swinton's character, the lead up to, the reveal of Okja and all that. Like, it was fine. But the scene where Mija falls is like it went from like a 3 to a 9.
Okay.
As far as like, just how anxious I got.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and I knew she was going to be fine because it was still very early in the movie,
Well, sure, yeah.
but it was still real stressful.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Eh.
All right, yeah.
Other than that scene and then the scene in the city, like after the hijacking, or during the hijacking, whatever you want to call it.
When she's hanging off of the back of the truck.
Yeah, that also stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, that was real stressful for me.
Yeah.
Like she's running through the city, somehow keeping up with this truck. She gets on top of it and then ends up hanging off of the back of it. That was like, this is a child.
Yeah.
You should not be doing this. Where are your parents?
Well, they're dead.
Oh, right. Maybe is that how they died? by doing parkour on trucks. It's dangerous.
Oh, I wish that was the backstory.
It is in the graphic novel version of Okja,
Sure.
as drawn by the director whose name escapes me again.
Boon Jong-ho?
Boon Jong-ho, yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Bong Joon-ho, but I knew that wasn't right.
It's close. We're racist Americans.
Well, I'm not so racist that I would say something wrong that I know is specifically wrong.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, there's no guarantee I'm pronouncing it correctly either.
That's true.
Yeah.
I trust your pronunciation over mine.
All right. I hope that doesn't get either of us into trouble.
Well, it's an honest mistake if it does.
Also true. But no, yeah, I found like the first third of the movie to be kind of dull, except for like some spots here and there.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It definitely, once that chase happened and once Alf was introduced,
Yeah,
I feel like the movie really picked up.
yeah, absolutely. And by Alf, you mean, of course, the puppet
The alien
creature
life
from
form
right, yeah,
from Melmac, yeah.
the sitcom, yeah, Gordon Shumway,
Exactly.
yeah. What a twist!
I know. Got any cats?
Not anymore.
Nope. No, I really enjoyed the introduction of the Animal Liberation Front.
As did
Just
I.
like we're not terrorists. We don't want to hurt you. But then we're going to do all this super violent stuff.
Yeah.
That was really entertaining to me.
Yeah, like the chase through downtown. Mija's like basically once Mija goes to the city and to the Mirando building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really picks up from there. And again, stretching, the concept of suspension of disbelief.
Right.
That this little girl could, chase a semi truck.
I mean, she knows all the shortcuts.
True.
That
true.
probably helped.
I mean, yeah, she is more maneuverable than a semi. But also, I laughed out loud when she took a running jump towards the glass door.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That I don't know that that's the first point that I laughed because we had met Jake Gyllenhaal's character previously.
No, yeah,
He
absolutely.
made me laugh a lot.
Sure.
But I definitely laughed at her leaping into that door and just getting nowhere.
Yeah, so I feel like after that, like, the movie picks up some more.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's some tonal stuff here and there that like I don't feel, a little bit like Horse Girl, where just stuff butted up against each other and didn't feel like it was part of the same movie.
I can see that. Yeah, and especially like some of the polka music felt out of place.
Yeah.
Like just the tone that it was setting didn't really fit what was happening, but I kind of enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I did. I feel like I did too. It made it feel ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I guess a guy chasing after or people chasing after a car and tripping on marbles or getting shit on by a giant super pig is pretty ridiculous when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's that, and then sort of the boardroom scenes sort of felt just like there's the story of Mija trying to rescue Okja, and then there's this other story about Tilda Swinton's character and like her relationship with her family and her sister who is sort of off in the shadows, and yeah, just the way that it comes together is not super clean in my mind anyway.
No. Especially the sister angle.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very off-putting, her reveal towards the end especially. But not in like, this is weird, just as in like, I don't think this works.
Yeah, like, this is happening now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but all right, here we are.
Right, yeah.
Like the sister didn't seem that different from the other character that Swinton was playing. So,
exactly, yeah.
Like, why did she need to change characters?
I mean, have you seen Suspiria?
I actually have not seen Suspiria.
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Mostly because it's like 3 hours long.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And just weird as fuck. Like I honestly don't know if I could tell you that it's actually good or bad.
Okay.
Like it just definitely exists. But Tilda Swinton plays 3 different characters in that movie.
All right.
2 of the characters are sort of somewhat related, but then she also plays like an elderly man. That we follow for some reason in the movie.
Okay.
And it's just weird. Like, I guess she just likes doing that?
I mean, Tilda Swinton's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Her has that sort of vibe, so maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, that sounds kind of interesting.
I mean, if you have, a full day to set aside, go for it and watch it.
I'll watch the original and then I'll watch the remake.
All right.
And I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes.
I do recommend the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still iffy on you and horror movies.
I'm coming around to them. For a long time, I really wasn't into them, and then I started to want to watch them more. So I'm getting more comfortable with them, I think.
Okay. Is it just because is it Matt Brassfield's fault?
It's not Matt Brassfield's fault.
Okay.
No, I think it's Jenny's fault, though it's not her fault. But sometimes I find myself just wanting to watch a scary sort of dumb movie. So
all right.
I think I've just evolved over time.
Well, that's good.
I think so.
I have. I mean, I've always enjoyed horror movies, and probably always will. But I have noticed lately that much like the suspension of disbelief of watching a child chase a tractor through a busy city.
Yeah.
I find myself watching horror movies and just getting frustrated that this masked crazed killer has killed all these people's friends and they don't seem to be reacting to that at all.
Right.
It's like, show some emotion. Feel some grief and loss.
Yeah, people get over stuff really fast in horror movies.
Yeah. But, I mean, I know I should just, go with it. But, lately it has become an issue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Am I growing up?
You might be growing up.
Fuck. I don't want that at all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm sorry to hear that you're maturing emotionally.
God damn it.
I know. It was bound to happen.
I guess.
You've been in a state of arrested development for so long. Yeah.
It does make me feel okay to know that you're more interested in horror movies, though, because I mean, not that I'm gonna pick them all the time or anything like that, but I am sort of consciously in movies that I'm thinking about picking for the show. If I'm just hanging out in the house, I will probably watch some horrible, stupid horror movie.
Okay.
Just because I can, but I am trying to I used to watch other things too, and so I'm trying to use this as a venue where, hey, you should watch those other things once in a while.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier, and I want to try and use this for that as well.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So sort of and also I know you had your missed classics that you were working through.
Yeah.
I will probably end up picking some of those as well. Stuff that I have not seen that people have said that I should see, or just that I feel like I should see at some point.
Sure. Yeah, I'm absolutely down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, because also you're picking movies, that means sometimes you'll probably pick something that, like Horse Girl, I'd never probably would have watched that on my own.
Right.
And while, it was maybe not as good as I'd hoped it might be, but, I'm glad that I watched it.
Yeah, definitely.
And while Okja, I had wanted to see for, since it came out, I just never took the time to do it. And of the other three Boon Joon-ho movies that I've seen, it's the weakest. But
Yeah.
I still found it incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching it. I don't know that it will stick with me, but yeah, I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
I guess the parts that were real upsetting have stuck with me, because those were the only parts that I remembered from my first watch of it. So something stuck with me.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that slaughterhouse scene is not fun.
Not at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. As with a lot of movies, and we talked about this a little bit last time, I'll read up on a movie after I've watched it.
Yeah.
Just to, see some other opinions and maybe help form my own, better. But I read the Wikipedia for this, and said that Boon Joon-ho had visited a slaughterhouse to research, how he wanted to do that in the movie. And he and his, I think, assistant director or director of photography, both became temporary vegans after their visits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Like, you know, I like meat. I'll still continue to eat meat.
Yeah.
This didn't affect me in that severe a manner, but yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's troublesome at times.
Definitely. Yeah. And I mean, Jenny's vegetarian, so
Yeah,
we don't eat meat regularly. I will on occasion if I'm just eating by myself. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think about it
sure.
more often than I would otherwise. And
Uh,
I think the fact that it's a made up animal in this movie makes it a little less impactful, but still definitely can see the relevance of the story being told.
right. Yeah. It's like part of me is like I don't know who this movie is actually made for.
Yeah, it's made for a
Uh,
Netflix audience.
well, sure.
People who are doing other things and scrolling through their phones and not reading the closed captions.
Uh, that's funny because I actually turned on the closed captioning for the entire movie,
Yeah,
so I read the entire movie, English or not.
nice.
I actually feel like that's becoming a regular thing with me. I feel like it helps me grasp the movie better.
I can see that.
It also
Yeah,
makes me, pay attention to it more,
yeah,
for
that
sure.
makes sense.
But I feel like as I've gotten older, my level of comprehension has gotten worse,
Oh,
and my hearing a little bit too, and
yeah.
the subtitles help with both of those. Uh, but I'm initially not a smart man anyway, so
Aw.
uh,
you're,
but
you're
no,
you're fine.
yeah, I try. But like because there are so many aspects of this that seems like this would be a kids movie, but there's also just a lot of violence and swearing in it to
Right.
make it definitively not a kids movie.
Yeah, it's almost like sort of a free willy kind of thing,
Yeah, and also the fact that like half of it is in Korean, uh, also
Yeah.
I think would you know prevent kids from watching it.
Yeah.
Um, but also, is it for people who don't think animals have a brain and a soul? Because like it definitely goes out of its way to humanize Okja.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and I'm sure there are people out there who just think that animals are just dumb meat.
Yeah.
But uh, I think that anybody who's ever had a pet knows otherwise for sure. You know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I hadn't really thought about who this was for. And yeah, I don't know who it's for.
um, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because parts of it are funny and parts of it are super dark and parts of it are exciting, but also some of it's super dull.
Yeah.
And being in two languages sets it apart elsewhere. And yeah, I don't know, but I guess you know I'm glad it exists.
Yeah. I would agree with you there. No, I'm sorry, I'm still mulling over. You've given me a lot to think about.
Uh, I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's an entertaining movie
For sure.
for the most part.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good performances in it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd say the weakest performance in the entire movie is Giancarlo Esposito.
I thought he was basically just Gus Fring in this movie.
He is El Porco Hermano.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I enjoyed him for what he was doing, which is
Sure.
Gus Fring, basically.
Yeah, I mean it's low key, less you know, evil cartoon villain Gus Fring, but it's essentially Gus Fring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine. He didn't really leave much of an impression on me.
No, but I mean he's a solid actor, so
Definitely.
it just stood out to me that he is just sort of the one of the more forgettable parts of it.
Yeah, I did enjoy the part where he made like an espresso while
Yeah, that was good.
Tilda Swinton was melting down.
But then that got trumped by Jake Gyllenhaal doing whatever it was he was doing in this movie.
I mean, it's hard to beat whatever he was doing
Yeah.
because it's so great. If the whole movie had just been about him, I would have really enjoyed it. Maybe we'll get a spin-off.
I mean, there is a post-credit scene that leads you to believe that there could be a sequel.
That's true. Yeah, that was actually new to me. I had not seen that the first time we watched the movie. I'm glad that I fast forwarded through the credits to see if there was anything after.
Yeah. Usually, I mean, it's mostly safe to assume that if Netflix keeps playing the credits, that something else is coming.
That's true. Yeah.
Because they will pretty much go to that unrelated trailer coming up in 10 seconds. Just as soon as the first word that's not a movie, comes up on the screen.
Directed by who?
Yeah. I don't know. I have to rewind it and click that box again.
Directed by Spencer Confidential. What? I did the post-credit scene really sort of, I felt like hit you over the head with the metaphor that because you've got Paul Dano coming out of prison,
Yeah.
and he's walking along the fence the same way that Okja and Mija were when they were leaving the slaughterhouse. Like, oh, I get it. Slaughterhouses are like prisons.
Yeah, I didn't get that, so.
No?
Yeah.
Well, I felt hit in the head by it. So.
All right. Well, hey, now you've given me something to think about as well.
Excellent.
I'm glad to see that Steven Yeun was accepted back into the in the fold of the Animal Liberation Front, though.
Yeah, that's true. That part really pissed me off when he mistranslated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is one thing I think for this movie, except for Mija. All the characters are complicated.
It's true.
Yeah. Mija and Okja are the only two real pure characters in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And the actress who plays Mija is phenomenal.
She's very good, definitely.
To hold her own against, almost an entirely English-speaking cast of, people like, Tilda Swinton and Jake Gyllenhaal is really exceptional.
Yeah, absolutely. She's great in this movie.
Yeah. I enjoyed this movie. I don't know that I would ever watch it again, but I'd recommend it to a person to watch it once.
Yeah, there are parts of it that I would watch again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that I would sit and watch the whole thing again, even though I have watched it twice now.
Well, that's my fault.
I honestly, like I said, I had forgotten most of it from the first time that I watched it, so it was like seeing it new again. So
okay, all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah. So Yeah, I think that Boon Jong Ho guy is going places.
I think so too. Yeah, if he can just make something that's not direct to video, that'd be great.
Yeah. No, yeah, I still, I do really want to see Parasite. I just, it's one of those things that, if I'm just turning something on to watch here at home, I'm doing other stuff while I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd want to give that one my full attention,
You will absolutely want to give that your full attention, yeah.
Yeah. So I just got to carve out time for it. So, which is sad. I used to watch foreign movies all the time, and I have not in quite a while.
Yeah.
But this is the closest I have come.
Well, I might hit you with a surprise for my pick.
Oh, okay.
For next time.
Oh, well, would you like to tell me it?
Sure.
Okay. Have you thought of it?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
So I was thinking about this earlier, and I've seen some stuff about it somewhat recently on social media, with the passing of Max von Sydow.
Okay.
I was thinking that we should watch The Seventh Seal.
Okay. So I actually did review that on Gutter Trash.
Oh, you did? Really? Crap.
Yeah. But that was with that dumbass Jason.
Well, how about this? Why don't we do Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey instead?
Well, I do own that movie. Of the two movies, that's the only one that I actually own. Can I tell you the story of why I own it?
Please tell me.
I got it from Pizza Hut.
Why?
So back in the early 2000s, Pizza Hut had a promotion where if you ordered a pizza, they would give you a free DVD.
Okay.
And so when I was with my ex at the time, and we ordered Pizza Hut, and they gave me a copy of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
That's so weird.
Like just a little flimsy envelope.
That is the strangest thing.
Yep.
So what were there specific movies that they had? Like, was it like you get one of these 8 movies, or was it just here's a random movie?
I think they had like specific movies. I don't remember which other ones they had, or if I even knew. I'm not sure. But I mean, I don't recall asking for that specific movie when I ordered a pizza. It's just the one that came with it, and I was just like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise.
That is bizarre.
So, vamp for a minute for me, if you could.
Okay, I can do that.
I am going to look up when I actually watched Seventh Seal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because there are parts of it I remember, much like you with Okja. Parts of it I remember, and parts of it I do not for sure.
Yeah, and I know basically nothing about it other than the spoof aspect of it in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever seen either of the Bill and Ted movies all the way through. So one or both of those may be Viewmaster's picks from me at some point in the future, especially if there's a new one coming out. I
would also be down for that. And you know what? I watched The Seventh Seal with Jason Young on July 31st in 2011.
Okay.
It has been almost 9 years. I would totally be down to watching The Seventh Seal again.
Excellent.
I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
I looked. I did see that it's on YouTube.
Okay.
So I everywhere else, I think you had to pay for it, but I did see. Assuming it's an hour and a half long, I did see that it's on YouTube. So hopefully that will work for us.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Well then, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen an Ingmar Bergman movie before, so.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
All right. Well, you're about to see it again.
Alrighty, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, considering that the only other Max von Sydow movie I've ever seen was Flash Gordon, you know?
I mean, he's pretty great in that.
He really is.
He's in The Exorcist too, right?
Yeah, I believe he is. I've also seen that, yes. I've seen other Max von Sydow movies.
Oh, you were making a funny joke. I'm
sorry.
I missed it.
It's okay.
All right. Well, we will be back next week then with the Seventh Seal.
Excellent.
All right. Talk to you then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.